Love should be easy. Why should it not?
I just started course 2 on Japanese from zero.com, which used to be yesjapan.com. And my question is, how do I decide whether to use arimasu or imasu for the following 3 things? And by the way, thank you. This is the best worded question in a long time. You give me 3 great examples. You know what? You're more together than I am right now and trying to say what I wanted to just say right now. But you said, what about plants? By the way, imasu and arimasu, right? You learn these verbs in course 2, lesson 1. Iru and aru are the verbs that you look up in the dictionary, right? That's the dictionary form. They mean to be or to have, depending on the context. And iru in the book we teach as animate or living objects, and aru we teach as inanimate or non-living objects. Matter of fact, I'm gonna pull out the book right now. This is the book, and I'm just gonna go right to that grammar, and we're gonna look at it right here. Okay, here we go. Iru. This is right from the book, right here. That's the grammar point. I'll just read it. We'll see if there's any insight here. Iru, to be, to exist, to have animate things. Iru is used for all living things that are animate, such as dogs, cats, people, insects, etc. Depending on the context of the sentence and the tense, iru can mean is, am, are, was, were, will be, had, have, and will have. The particle ga is used by default to mark the animate thing that is iru. However, okay, nothing new here. Let's see here. Aru. Aru is used for inanimate objects such as cars, planes, and books. Depending on the context of the sentence and the conjugation, aru can mean is, am, are, was, were, will be, have, had, and will have. Basically all the same things. And then we talk about particles, but guess what? We don't answer that really important question. There is a subsection though, using iru instead of aru in rare cases. Remember, iru is for living things or animate, living and animate, right? And aru is inanimate things. There are times when iru is used for aru in cases where the inanimate object in question is controlled by a human, like a bus or a car. Also, you might hear iru used for inanimate objects in animation or other media where the objects have human characteristics or are alive. All right. But that doesn't answer your very well worded question. Your question is, what do I do for plants, robots, and ghosts? Plants meaning trees. So let's look. I'm going to give you the first answer straight off. Plants and trees, we're going to use aru. Ki ga aru. Could you say ki ga iru? Gosh, I don't know. Maybe. But I'm going to say the rule is no. Ki ga aru. If you said ki ga iru, would it make sense? Yeah, of course, it would make sense. Japanese would know what you meant. But you want to say ki ga aru. Is there a lot of trees? Ki ga takusan arimasu ka? Iie, ammari arimasen. No, there isn't that many. All right? That's how it's worded. Not imasu or imasen. Trees do not move on their own. Now, you had a great example, by the way. The Venus flytrap, which I don't know what that is in Japanese. I don't know what that is. But the Venus flytrap, well, I'm going to say that's also aru. Because it's not really alive in the sense of you can talk to it and it's going to walk over to you and say, bite you like a cat or a dog, right? It's not moving. It's more like a chemical-based reaction more than a, oh, hey, there's a fly, I'm going to get it, and then if it tries to fly away, I'm going to there's no intelligent motion. I would say iru is used for intelligent motion. Remember, my answers are my opinion. Certainly you can find someone else that disagrees with that. But in my 20 plus years of speaking Japanese, trees are always aru. And Venus flytraps would also be aru. Now let's get into the controversy. Let's talk about robots. Robotto ga aru. There is a robot. I would say by default you would use aru. Robotto ga aru. Because it's not really alive, is it? It's sort of a programmed thing. And you'll notice that I've done the Google test here. In Google, I did robotto ga aru in quotes to isolate that and to look for that full phrase. And I got 23 million Google results. Okay, that's what I got. So what did I get for iru? Because robots if they're artificially intelligent, could theoretically not be inanimate and not be dead, right? I mean, they could theoretically be alive, and there's thoughtful motion. Well, guess what? Roboto ga iru has only half of the results. There is a robot. And here's the thing about iru, by the way. Iru can also mean need. It would be a kanji, but both iru for existence and iru for need have kanjis, but doing it in hiragana means maybe some of those results are I need a robot. Roboto ga iru, right? I need a robot. You could, of course, say roboto ga hitsuyo, but that verb roboto ga iru also works to mean I need a robot. But even accounting for that possibility, there's still only 11 million. So, in the Google test, roboto ga aru passes and beats iru. But can you say a roboto ga iru? Yeah, certainly. I wouldn't say you couldn't. All right, next one. This is a good one. Oh, man. And I'll tell you what, I got disappointed. My instinct was wrong on this one. Obake ga iru. This is what I would say all the time. Obake ga iru. There is a ghost. Why? Why use iru for a ghost? They're dead, right? They're animate, and they used to be human, and they're moving of their own fruition. They're not just hanging in the ether, right? Like a cloud is aru. There is a cloud. It moves, but it's not on its own fruition, right? So there were 3 million results for obake ga iru in quotes. But look at what happens with obake ga aru. 4.7 million. To me, this is inconclusive. I don't know if a number of things can let me just defend my belief that it should be iru. A number of things can mess up the results, right? Let's say there's a book called Obake ga Aru, right? Then let's say that book was really popular. Every entry for that book title gets added to the results, so that could skew it. But 3 million and 4 million, that's pretty close. I would say half and half. I would say for obake, you could say aru or iru, but I typically would always say iru for the reasons I gave earlier. Great question. Thank you very much.